Stay with me 真夜中のドアを叩き帰らないでと泣いたあの季節が今目の前 Stay with me 口癖を言いながら二人の時を抱いてまだ忘れず温めてた Stay with me 真夜中のドアを叩き帰らないでと泣いたあの季節が今目の前 Stay with me 口癖を言いながら二人の時を抱いてまだ忘れず温めてた Stay with me 真夜中のドアを叩き帰らないでと泣いたあの季節が今目の前 Stay with
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I said, are you ready?
You're listening to the Goof Norton Radio Show.
He's the best of the best of the best.
He has a wonderful voice.
If you don't like him,
You don't have a soul.
I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
Yes. One more time, we are back again. Welcome, everybody, to another broadcast of the Goof Norton Radio Show. This is your late night edition. We're coming in at you just relaxing and chilling, fresh out of work, still riding the caffeine rush. So I figured I'd be like, hey, I don't feel like gaming tonight. So I'm like, okay, why not? Let's do something else. I haven't done this in a while. So it's been quite some time since I've done the last one of these. A few things have changed. First and foremost, the Spotify podcast, as far as I'm aware, is dead. It's done. It no longer is a thing because I believe they changed the terms of service and changed some things and some policies. So I can no longer upload podcasts there because I'm not like a partnered person or anything like that. I don't have like a million people listening every month or even every year. So, therefore, the insignificant crowd has been given the boot. So here I am stuck back on YouTube, which is great. We kind of came full circle anyway. And I'm not really that sad over it, I guess. It's been a good run. We had a good few years on there. Ever since I left YouTube, it's just kind of been like, So it's nice to get content out here for you guys. Because I enjoy being here on YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I really do. So the podcast is back at least full time to be here. When I mean full time, I don't mean like every day, but I mean like it's back fully here. This is your one place to get the show now. So welcome. Well, at Twitter, you obviously there's a live stream, but when I normally upload it, YouTube. So yay YouTube. Ah man, today has been an interesting day because I didn't have a lot to do at work today necessarily because there was an event going on. So most of my shift was me just sitting, waiting for the event to finish. And the event went on for about 2 hours. But before that, there's also not a lot to do because they were setting up. So for about half of my shift, probably more like 60 or 70% of my shift, I had nothing to do. But I did a lot of my personal stuff. I took care of some personal business calls I had to make. And then, for those of you who don't know, I'm moving soon. So I've just had to take care of stuff regarding that, calling people, just taking care of stuff like that and continuing to look for a new job. Um, because there is not one there waiting for me yet. There will be one soon. Because I don't give up hope, and I keep a wide skill set because for this very reason, because I like to be versatile and I like to be able to have the ability to get a job wherever I need to be able to get a job. Because there are still some preferences I'm searching for before I have to like bend the freaking knee and just go with whatever's there. Because there are some things I can do that are in like more crummy spots. Because I've had quite a few years of experience in some more crappy jobs. Well, people would consider crappy jobs and crappy environments more so. Not really the job's crappy, but the environments of crappy. So, I'm trying not to have to be put in that spot. But, worst comes to worst. Got to do what you got to do. And it's temporary until you find something else. So, that's how it be. That's how it do. That's what we're going to roll with. But since today I had... Hold on. That was disgusting, and I apologize. I hate frickin' loogies and such. I hate spitting. I'm gonna tell you that because when you get sick, occasionally, I don't know if a lot of people do it. I'm sure a lot of people do it. But mucus sometimes drains, and sometimes it gets caught right in that perfect spot where it just kind of is like, hey, this is an exit, and it's like, wow, gross. So yeah, I've been dealing with that. I don't like it at all. But as I was saying, sorry, I forgot what I was going to say because that just kind of threw me off. I really hated that experience. I was like, wow, that's gross. I don't like that. What the fuck was I gonna say, chat? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So since I had time today, I've been scrolling through social media, and there's always the videos, and I don't know why it is, how it found me, but there is a side of social media that is just bent on painting America as like the worst country to ever exist when it's not. There are worse, and there have been worse, and some of the countries that are bashing it have done much worse than how we're even doing now. So, and there's also the freaking, and the one thing that gets me the most, it's not the people that talk bad about the culture, I don't really care, because they don't come here, and so they're just talking from a distance, from the safety of their freaking cell phone or their computer, so I'm not really worried about them, but it's the ones that are talking about how we speak in our English, because somehow people have forgotten the history lesson that our English and the things we say, where do you think we got English from? Where do you think the first people, the first Americans, the first what you can consider like United States Americans, where do you think they came from? Oh yeah, freaking Britain. I'm sorry, but that's how we got English. So some of the terms and whatnot we not borrowed, but they brought over, and they used them here. So the lingo has been passed around here. And some terms we didn't change, right? Soccer doesn't come from here. Soccer didn't start on this side of the pond. It started on the other side of the pond. And it was it was a slang term the youngsters were using. They were like, oh, soccer and whatnot. There's a guy out there who's from the Englands, who moved here and who did all. He had a whole channel on that of the misconceptions and about like who's pronouncing it correctly, or who's why do Americans pronounce it this way? It's like the internet likes to try to make fun of us and be like, oh, you do it wrong, but most of our pronunciations do come from the original languages. Obviously Latin, sometimes French words we pronounce French. There's other French words we don't try to freaking pronounce in a French way because it's just wrong. Like croissant. I'm just kidding. It's croissant. Normally how we would say it, but we don't try to pronounce it as a French person because that's just too much work. And they roast you either way. The French just roast you either way. You know the language and try to speak it pretty well. They're like, no, screw you. You're stupid. And I hate you. And if you don't know the language, they're like, I hate you anyway. Because you're an idiot and don't know the language. The French are, at least they're consistent, I guess. But it's when Brits try to freaking make fun of Americans for that. I'm like, we got it from you. Like, you do realize your whole accent, the current way it is because of a classist kind of thing. Like you like your people literally went and were like, you know what? Some of your people were like, hey, guess what? We're better than you. We're changing the accent. We're changing the words we use because herb is the way it's supposed to be pronounced. But they were like, herb. And I'm like, okay, all right, sure, whatever. But literally, quite not too long ago, the Brits and the Americans, like the English was pretty, not necessarily super identical, but it was pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. So it's just your history lesson for today. That's what gets me the most. It's the linguistic part. It's not the culture or anything like that because most people don't come over here anyway and they still talk trash. And I'm like, you don't know what life is like. Like, I'm not out here cowering and fearing for my life every day. I live in a pretty nice part. There are some things that's like, yes, our infrastructure for walking, terrible. Terrible. Unless you're in a city, obviously. Cities always have sidewalks and whatnot, and places for bikes, sort of. We use the sidewalk for pretty much anything and everything. That's not a car. Horses, segways, bikes, walking, rollerblading. All of it on the sidewalk. So yeah, the terms we get as Americans come from what Britain used to say, but because they were like classist to themselves and to us, they were like, we're gonna switch it back. So soccer came from them. It didn't start here. It came from them. They did that. They did that, not us. I don't know why people suddenly like forget that. They forget their own history of their own countries too, apparently. When it comes to bashing what we do, it's like, and some issues over there that they still have, and I don't want to point out the obvious, but there's a little bit of an issue starting with the letter R, dealing with a little bit of separation and playing a bit of favoritism. I'm going to put it the light way. But that still happens in other countries. The people who are of the same complexion, but are just from another country, so it happens. It still happens. It still happens a lot, and nobody wants to talk about it though. But you want to talk about it here because, of course, it's easy to point and laugh to ignore your issues because everybody does that. That's what bullies do, and the internet's full of stupid people. So I've come to recognize that. Yeah, a lot of people are just dumb and they just don't recognize and they just aren't looking back at themselves. They forgot how self-reflection works. Before you go bashing someone else, how about you look at yourself first? And the other thing is just freaking read sometimes. Go do some research. Oh, Americans pronounce it wrong. Americans pronounce it wrong. Do we? Or are you just saying that because it sounds good and it's the easiest conclusion to come to without actually doing any research yourself about where our language has started from? Now, some things, because again, a lot of our terms come from what English used to say and what the English used to sound like. Because somebody made the comment of like, how are you going to say we sounded, how are you going to say the English don't pronounce it correctly when they're the English? I'm like, they're called the English because of the country, England. Like, we get that. And that's I'm not going to go over the freaking country origin, the naming origin for that. You can do that research yourself. But it's still very ridiculous that people don't just do a bit of light research, right? Because there's a guy out there is, I think it's Overly Simplified or whatever his name is, but he does history lessons like in a very oversimplified way, and they're fun to and they're fun to watch because you do learn something. But it's really irritating, I will say, that people just refuse to learn and then try to. But that's something that's been predicted, I think, and depicted in a lot of media in the past, right? Um, Situations where the intelligent people, the smart ones, are laughed at and mocked because the majority of people are stupid and they don't know any better, but they're laughing at the person because they have, like, even though they're talking the truth and whatnot, but they're being mocked because when you're in the majority, who cares, right? Who cares? Who cares? Knowledge is invaluable when it's when you're trying to give it to someone who doesn't know what it could be used for. It's ridiculous. But in other news, I have been sitting on some music. Apparently, I didn't know. Those of you who've been watching the music streams, you know, there's a new track that I've uncovered that I did a while ago, and it's actually good. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because it's one of those songs that is good, because I do have some good songs. Not all of them, not all my songs are good, but there are a few. Like My Beach tends to be a prominent one. And like one of the BPM songs from the Late Night Groove album, people seem to like those too. Because those are good songs. Those are good ones. I haven't checked TuneCore in a while. But it's just I can't believe I was sitting on this and whatnot. Like that was just something that's just been in my library for a long time. And it's like, hey, guess what? This song's here and it hasn't been released. And I've been like, what the fuck? So we're gonna release it along with a couple other songs. I'm hoping to hopefully get another song maybe tonight or just before I move. Because once I move, I'm gonna have to stop doing music for a while because I have to obviously unplug my keyboard and get it packed right back in its box and with all the cords and stuff to make sure it doesn't get slammed around during my moving and whatnot. So yeah, it's a lot of work. And I have to get a desk too. I don't have a desk, chat. Like I don't have a desk. I haven't bought one. I've scouted one on Amazon, but I've got to do measurements in the new space to make sure that whatever I order fits. Because once it's there, I don't want to have to do an Amazon return or go back to a store because I don't know where I'm getting the desk from yet. Probably Amazon, but who knows? To with a whole desk, that's a lot of effort. A lot of effort. I pray I don't ever have to go to IKEA to get a piece of furniture. The heck was I looking for? Oh yeah, I was looking at my analytics. I don't look at my analytics very often for my music anymore. Because when I first started, obviously I was like, what's are people listening to it yet? Oh my god! These days I'm like, I don't care. If you hear it, you hear it, and if you don't, you don't. Yeah, My Beach is still very popular. Jeezy Pete's. Mexico and the Netherlands are loving My Beach right now. That's cool. We love that. I appreciate all that attention to it. Yeah, that was one of the BPM songs. Yeah, that's what I was. It's 68. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't. That's funny thing is because I don't know how to title my music. Like I still don't. My Beach happened to work out because of the guitar sound, and I was like, wait a minute. What if I put a beach sound in the background of this? Um, and it reminded me of just kind of being on a beach, I guess. And I was like, sure, my beach, why not? That works. That was the one that but again, some of these songs I do slap together and they happen to work out. And I'm like, what do I title this? I'm not good at titling music. I'm not good at titling things. That was the worst part about school and writing papers. I could write a paper, but I wouldn't know what the heck to title it. I was like, what with this? How I do? What do? I'm like the frickin' the bird, Hamlet. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Can't remember his name sometimes. Little blue little I don't know the official name. They're like the ringed neck parrots or something like that. Where am I getting streams from? Oh, a lot of people are still listening from Spotify and iTunes. Darn you Apple users. Get out of here. I'm just kidding. Chat, I think I don't know if I should point this out or not because it feels illegal to do so, but I just want to put it out there that I have double the listens on Spotify, but I have made less revenue from that. iTunes, well, let me put it to you this way. I made a certain amount from Spotify listens, right? iTunes / Apple, they have half the listens, they have half the streams, but have made a little more than what I got from Spotify. Half the streams, more money. What the heck? That's ridiculous. Sorry, that's just that's ridiculous. I just had to expose that a little bit. I'm sure Apple doesn't care. But to me, that's a little ridiculous. Because I'm looking back now and I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make me feel good. Yeah, overall, like, even looking back like a year from March to March, who the heck bought my song on freaking Apple iTunes? You don't have to buy my music. And that's another thing. My music's gonna stay free. I don't you don't have to buy it. Just listen to it on whatever platform it's on. It's on like 33 different platforms. One of them should be free. It's YouTube, Spotify. Just listen to the song, enjoy it. You know. Yeah, the splits from some of these are weird. Man. The fact that my music can reach these different places, Denmark, Chile, and Brazil, Malaysia, and Peru, and frickin' Turkey and Austria. We're reaching out to Taiwan and the Czech Republic. Like, yo, mainland China, Israel, India, South Africa, heck yeah. Nigeria. Like, this is the part that I like about analytics. Is just getting to South Korea. Grenada? Can I see that correctly? Yeah, no, that's what that says. Wow. The Philippines and Kenya and Argentina. Japan even. Breaking through the countries, the more, I guess the more popular Asian countries. Should say that, yeah. Like South Korea and Japan. That's interesting. Ecuador, that country I cannot pronounce. And there's Georgia, and then there's Moldova and frickin' Romania. Like, bro, that's so cool. I like seeing that, and like from these countries, it's like one or two streams. I'm not really that, but it's like, especially in mainland China, Nigeria, people be coming back for it. Like, what? That's so cool. That's so cool. I really do love that because it's like, wow, that's great. I'm glad that people have been enjoying it. Like, yes, listen all you want. I think my reach is in somebody's playlist because Spotify shows you that statistic for some reason, which is cool. That's so interesting, though. Oh man. Thank you, everybody who does listen to the music and enjoys it. Like it's great to have something I can put out for people to enjoy and just listen to. Um, whether you're studying, whether you are actively just about the music, or it's a whether it's a background thing or not. Like I just it's nice. Thank you, because seriously, I to do this stuff is great. I'm not a millionaire, and I don't plan on being one, but the fact that I can reach that far in the world, across the world, places that I'll never get a chance to visit to because I don't have that kind of money, um, nor do I have the time because I would like to advance my career if I possibly could. And traveling all the time won't allow me to do that. So realistically, I've got some different goals than some people do. Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to entertain you. Oh man, yeah. After I move, the content in general is going to be just kind of tuned down a lot because I'll have internet, but I will probably be busy trying to either job searching or going to work. And I don't know my hours yet, so gonna be kind of hard. I gotta cancel my gym membership. Is that's the thing I never thought I would have to do? Is canceling gym memberships? And I have to pay to cancel, which is stupid. Which is stupid. Because they're like, oh, it's a dues fee or whatever. And I'm like, what dues? I pay my bill every month. I will fight you. So I'll probably have to fight them on that a little bit, which will probably not be that hard since I've been with them since like 2019. So, and I'm sad. Honestly, I am sad that is where we're at. Because finding a 24-hour gym was not easy in the first place back in like 2019. Where I'm moving to, there are gyms around, which is great. Well, kind of. They're within a good proximity where I don't have to travel too far. Because I'm using where I am now, like how far I am away from a gym now as like the benchmark. That way, when I leave and I move and I'm like looking around, I'm like, where's a good gym? That's also 24 hours, not in a dangerous area. Okay, cool. And the criteria is pretty much set then. This is a weird next step in life, chat. It really is. It really is. Because I live, I'm not going to say a unique experience, but I live an interesting experience. Because I didn't have to move around a lot as a kid. We stayed in the same place, stayed in the same home, stayed with the same parents and whatnot. So, like, I just, to leave this one place that I've been for a long time is a weird feeling. But at the same time, it's like, finally. Because sometimes, like, what I find is a lot of the time is to grow. In order to grow and to, you got to spread your wings and move on. Is you just have to leave your hometown. And it's like, it's okay. The world's not going to end. Nothing's really bad going to happen. It's not going to explode while you're not there. Hopefully. I know somebody's has. Because we're people and we make mistakes like that, and somebody was doing something stupid they shouldn't have been. Just saying. That's what tends to happen. I gotta look through my songs and see to make sure that I haven't released this one yet. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Chat, that's funny. It's just weird. This is my first experience doing it. So I will hopefully it'll be seamless. Like, because it's coming up very fast because it's kind of short notice in terms of like getting it together. Because once we found the place, we were like, okay, when we're moving in, okay. And it's just kind of coming up because time is not stopping. It's moving forward. My last days of work are coming up, and I'm like, what the frick's going on, dude? Like, I still have more crap to get rid of and pack and just sort through. And it's like, son of a biscuit, we got to get through all this stuff. And it's not that hard. Like, the process of doing it is not hard, because it's just like, take box, fill box, label box, move on. To a degree, it's volume. And to a degree, it's like, just what can I move? What can I not? Kind of thing. So, because my Xbox, all my electronics are staying up until like the night before. Because it doesn't take long for me to pack my Xbox or anything else like that. And I want them packed carefully, so I will have to, I'll be able to arrange that. I think maybe a couple nights before I'll take them down. Well, we'll see. It'll probably be the night before, because I will probably have one more stream, and then I'll end it around midnight. Because I'll have to get up early in the morning, because I have like a long drive. It's rough, man. For now. And then it won't be rough, because I'll just be moved. It'll be done. Once it's done, I'll be like, hey, finally, we're done. We're good. All right. Yeah, I've lost my touch with these, because I haven't done them in such a long time, and there's not much to say. Like, I'm moving, that's it. You know, life for me, I keep simple. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not trying to get a lot produced. Content is content, and it comes when it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, but that's what I said when I came back to YouTube fully. I'm like, hey, listen, content's gonna be there when I put it there. I you know, as I get older and have more responsibilities thrust upon me, I've got to put those first, and then this comes second. Even though I love doing this, believe me, as long as I can keep doing this, I will. But streams and whatnot just sometimes won't be possible, and that's okay. That is okay. Oh boy. That is okay. I think that's gonna be it for this. I feel calm now. I do. Caffeine is down, and I'm like, that's nice. That's really nice. I haven't been in like a steady viewing of like, so YouTube, right? I have my 3 people that I normally watch. Obviously, there are like exceptions when it comes to like different types of content, like music. Sometimes I'm looking for different jazz bands to listen to, or just jazz music. Like I told you guys, I've been on a kick of like Japanese pop from the 70s and 80s, and it's been great, and I do love it. There are older music performances like this one here. I have Cab Calloway's freaking Minnie the Moocher from the Blues Brothers movie, because I like seeing that stuff. Because they're songs I've heard before, and I'm like, oh, that's the original, or well, not necessarily the original, because songs are all derived from somebody else, inspired by somebody else. But that's the person who we know who sung it. So it's I like seeing live performances whenever I can. And then there's I don't know if anybody knows him, but George Collier. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but he uploads music clips where it's like, oh, like this one right here says the trumpet literally possessed her, when somebody does like a solo, or a group does a piece, whether like they do something crazy musically, but it's good, like really good. What else? There's a lot of, I get now I'm getting recommendations for like classical compilations, like classical music for when you're training to battle your enemies or whatever. classical music when you're on a deadline. Yep. And then there's like freaking live Barry White performances because of course there are. Because of course that's a thing I'm into. Because of yes. I can't help that. Dark blues. I'm not really that into blues. Because I respect blues, believe me. But overall, I don't know. Even during my depression, I never got into blues. It was like Slipknot. Like, well, that was more like high school, I think. Just Slipknot. Well, no, that was the depressive phase because it was after high school too. Because I'd be riding around listening to that, and I'm like, oh gosh, no, what happened to me? There were some other songs and whatnot too during that time, but more live performances, just weird SFM stuff, like weird animations people have made, but it's mostly been Japanese pop. Great. And then shorts, of course. I don't mind YouTube shorts because I was never into TikTok or Vine. Like those never really were things I had growing up. Um, Obviously, I was around when Vine was around, obviously from its beginning to end. But I never had an account, and I never sat there and got to watch that because I didn't have a phone or anything that could do that. I didn't get a phone until I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. It was a while before I got a phone. But that it was because I just needed it at the time because I was an athlete as a kid, and I had to quite literally. We were the first generation of kids in our high school to get laptops, and I had to email my mother to be like, hey, this is the schedule change, or if something went wrong, I had to do that from my computer. So, yeah. And they got tired of that, I guess, because you can't always check the email and whatnot. So, yeah, that was but I found a way to communicate, I tell you what. I tell you what, I found a way, and I made it happen for as long as I could. Then I got a phone, and after that, then the rest is history. All right. I don't know if I really feel like doing music right now. Like I'm not like I had a song in my head or like a groove in my head I wanted to go with. I didn't even open Ableton. Oh man, I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking I shouldn't. I do have to get up early for an interview tomorrow. What is? I have to be there at like 11, and it's like an hour and a half from where I am right now. It's a drive. I'm not gonna say I'm not ready for it because I am, because I've been expecting it this whole time. I even did the good thing and followed up with the person and was like, "Hey, you guys still good for tomorrow?" Because usually jobs do that with you. They're like, "Are you still good? Are you still on?" So, it's great. All right. I think we can do a little bit of music and see what happens. Yeah, I think we can do that. Because if we don't feel it, then we'll just end it. So give me a minute. Gotta play a little bit of tunage, I guess. Oh, why did I turn away from the music I was just listening to? I'm silly. We'll do a little intermission here while I take care of the changes. Alrighty. So, the music is from my own like playlist I have for just because. Hang on. I have it set to now. Like it's part of the stream playlist. I have made because I wanted to. Because since I've been on the kick, I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna enjoy it. Because I did the good thing and found the lyric videos for them, and I'm like, yay, finally. Because some things it's like they're cool, great, but some songs, as we've learned from anime intros and outros, they can sound really happy but be really sad. Really sad. Really sad. Uh, did YouTube die? No. The frick is up with YouTube? Oh, my video was paused, that's why. Sorry. I didn't realize that it ended like that. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I had to double check because I was pressing tab because tab is the thing I use to switch this to this. And I wasn't clicked in on this window, so I was like, I have to look at OBS to make sure nothing changed and nothing started recording or stopped streaming. Ooh. My back just popped in the weirdest way. I think the saddest thing I like about moving is that I will no longer have fiber. Like, that's a tragedy. I'll still be streaming, believe me. I made sure I got good internet. As good as I possibly could get it. What are we looking for here? Possibly this. Add the reverb. Do a little bit of that magic there. Add a good variation. All the variation I can get. And then turn the thing back up for you guys so you can hear. Where's my foot pedal? Yeah, and in the new place that we're going to be, there's wood floors, so it's gonna be a little bit weird. I'm on carpet currently. It'll be a weird feeling. I'll probably end up getting a rug or something for my feet. The pedal, it's fine. The pedal itself is fine because it's got a grippy bottom, so it won't go anywhere. But I don't know how I feel about this yet. Also, I don't have... Yeah, I'll have to get something for... I have to... Oh, yeah, my piano, my keyboard. I will either eventually have to buy a stand for, or I'll have to just find a desk that is good enough height where I can stand and play, or sit and play, because the current issue is that I don't have a stand for this thing because I never bothered buying one because it currently sits atop 2 open drawers because that's the perfect height, and this chair can sink down low enough to where now I don't have to bend over and weirdly angle myself to play the piano or play the keyboard. I can play it just perfectly leveled. I'm doing that back and forth because I'm trying to get my left hand to be a little bit more dynamic. So yeah, since I won't have a desk for like the first week or so until I get a job to pay for a desk, the keyboard will just be freaking probably sitting in a box or something because playing it on the ground is a nightmare. As I tried to do that when I first got it, it was not good. So I'll just be sitting there in the dark on the floor, holding the box that holds my keyboard and hugging it. So, and crying gently while listening to tracks of Shania Twain or something. I don't know. That's not true. This is going to be a sad time. I won't be able to do music for a while. And it's not that because I don't touch this thing every day, but it's just the fact that it's here and I have the option to is great. But when I don't have the option to, I'm just like, oh, I guess life is over as I know it. Sadness, the darkness sets in, and boohoo, you know the rest. I just freaking, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Oh. My thing is, if this album has to be 3 songs, it'll be 3 songs, because I don't want to force the last one. Alright, let's see what we can come up. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, fuck, hold on. Alright, wrong. That almost works, but I need a... It doesn't have... What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sorry, my fingers are confused. What the fuck? What's going on? What the fuck? There we go. Wait. Yeah, there it is. I found it. So the sequence is this here. Wait, here. Oh my gosh. That took every brain cell, every like 6 of the brain cells, all 6 of the brain cells of my freaking brain to make that happen. And they're all very like large. There's 6 of them, but it's like they're large, chunky brain cells. And this microphone too, because it doesn't sit on like obviously like a stand for like a professional singer, or it's like adjustable. This is a boom arm. This needs to be attached to a desk. I'm sad. Because I gotta squish this thing up and put it in a bag or something and friggin' yeah. Gonna be a tough one, Chad, I tell you what. So Saturday I gotta spend more time packing and whatnot, so we'll see what happens. So that sequence right there, we'll just do it with the one side. So we got Here. So the thing is, can I tease? Can I like be like here? Because the full sequence, that's, we gotta figure that one out, chat. Wrong. 3, 4. 3, 4. I mean, I guess we could hit that. But let's see. You know what's funny is as a person who's not classically trained in stuff like this, my brain sort of knows. I don't know proper scales and such. You could freaking probably have to teach me. You're probably gonna have to teach me a course on that kind of thing. But I'm like, I know from listening and playing songs, because if I like, I play only like Barry White songs. I'm not gonna lie, but I learn just going directly from note to note. Can sound a little bit funky, but it's, as far as I've seen in terms of what I've been told, it's supposed to be. It sounds a little bit better when you do skip notes. You do an A and a C, or like an E and a G. That's a G. But like in songs, let's see. Did I play that lower than usual? No, that's normal. But it goes from E. Is that E flat, chat? Because I don't know. I'm sitting here like looking at the freaking thing. I'm like, but it goes from B to E, and then in the freaking in the chorus, I guess that you could call it, go from like, it doesn't, sometimes in music it doesn't make sense with notes to just go from like, they don't sound good. The notes themselves obviously are good notes because you hear them in other sequences and it's like, oh, that's a good note there. But when they're put in certain ways, it's like, for some reason I couldn't figure out how to make something sound stupid. Give me a minute. I gotta just, there you go. That sounds terrible. which is why I didn't do that. I was like, no. And I never just play a regular B, because it sounds like trash. So I always play the B that I know is this one. There we go. And that works out. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know music theory. I tried to take a music appreciation class, and I think I nearly unlived. I nearly died while freaking experiencing that. I'm not gonna lie. It was a life-threatening experience. So I was just like, I can't take it anymore. And I quit. It was a free course, so it's not like anything was at stake there. I just couldn't do it. I mean, we were in the medieval section, and I was like, yeah, we're doing nice, but I got really bored. And I was like, when I saw how much more I had to go, I was like, nope. Nope. Not getting past the romance era. We're done. We're done. I can't take it. Can't do it anymore. Which is why I'm not like a professional musician. Otherwise, I would have like pumped out like 16 albums by now. I think I'm tired, Chad. I'm not tired, but I just feel like it's time to relax. So, but we're gonna put this sequence into the thing here. We're gonna record it because I want this to be our new template. So we'll see how I am the next time I come back to this. Tomorrow should be a stream with Demon. Maybe I might not be streaming. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm supposed to be back home late, but we'll see how life goes, and you'll hear from me in the Discord or here on the Twitters. So I'm gonna put this in here. We'll do. And there you go. That's 3. Oh, that's 6 hits right there. That's nice. Because I could have spiced it up, right? I could have went with... Oh, sorry. That note stays the same because that is me using like 4 fingers for that one, and then this one. And that one sounds a little bit weird because it even sounds weird down here, but it sounds less weird because it's a deep note. I don't know, the higher you get sometimes the weirder it is. This note sticks out. The high end, because it's a B that I'm playing at the end here, right here. This note sticks out so harshly for me, even up here. I guess at that range it doesn't matter. But right in the sweet range where I'm supposed to be playing, it sticks out, so I stick to this. Unless I wanted to do like... Well, if I wanted to do that, I would do... But that wouldn't make sense. That automatically doesn't make sense in my head. But again, if it sounds nice, I'm going with it because that's kind of the point. Like, I don't know. There's not really much explanation to go along with that, but that's kind of the point. Like, it sounds nice. Yeah, no dip. It's supposed to. Whatever sounds nice, I will put together. But in the sequence of how the song goes and how the notes progress and such. I gotta figure out, like, how the heck we're gonna formulate this into something. My brain had something else, like, dun, dun, dun. again, but I was like, no, I don't want to do that again. But also, what if? What if that's like the one thing right there? That's gonna, be the finishing song for this. But what about this? What if this is that? You know those videos where they show you, like, oh, we have a knot, kind of, sort of. We have twisted chords. And then they, like, undo it without ever using any of the ends to undo it. I always think about those whenever my charger cord is freaking tangled, because I bought a super long one, and I'm like, how did they do it? How did they make the magic happen? And then I put one of the ends through the other one, and all I do is end up making a knot. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not good. It's a simple solution, to be fair. I can't lie. I'm not gonna pretend like, oh my gosh, it's really difficult and complicated. Like, you just have to know what the heck you're doing, because it's very easy. Get it all. I've been sitting here fiddling with that, if that's what you're wondering why I brought it up. That's why. Because I don't, here's the thing, right? I don't even twist them up. I kind of like fold it. Fold it? As close as you can get to folding it, I guess. I take the two ends, make them meet, and then from there, take the bottom end and fold it in half, and then keep doing that. That's what I do. And somehow it's just like, I'm tangled now, and I'm like, great, that's cool. So we're going to save this puppy. I think this is 26 or 27. XP 25. Oh, it is 25. Oh, we already have a 25 right there at the top. 26. All right. 26 it is. Perfect. All right, chat. That's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I will catch you soon, hopefully. Saturday, I do have time to stream. So I will be streaming on Saturday after I am done packing a satisfactory amount. And then maybe Sunday. So until then, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will catch you, ladies and gents, again very soon. Bye-bye now.
We went to this night, and then I'll pick you up, and then we got it.